Continue on, and I'm going to track out the whole day for us going on right now. So let me make sure everything's right. Yep, okay. So let's go through some of our headlines for today here. So what's going to happen, we're going to see some strong to severe storms into the afternoon and the evening hours today. This is going to be much like we saw yesterday. It's going to be very similar, just some passing stronger storms, but today there's going to be two separate rounds of what's going to happen. So with today's threat, we are still concerned about some damaging winds as well as really heavy rainfall that can lead to flooding risks as well, especially because there are two separate rounds of these storms coming in that aren't very far apart. So this could lead to some flash flooding situations as well. So let's look at what the Storm Prediction Center highlighted for us. This got upgraded around 2 a.m. this morning. So they are pretty certain about seeing severe weather or strong storms in our area this afternoon and evening. This is a 2 out of 5 severe weather risk. So we're going to continue to watch out for these storms here. We also are in a flood watch. So, you know, we've been talking about the flooding risks, and it's due to all this rain that we've been seeing. We've been seeing an excessive amount of rainfall over the last few days here. I feel like I never stopped talking about rain recently, but we are seeing this flood watch, and this is until Monday at 11 a.m. Now, let me tell you why we're continuing to see this until Monday at 11 a.m. The storms that we're seeing today will linger on from the afternoon to the evening and even be a little bit into your Monday morning commute. Most of those will be lingering out, but you could still run into a couple scattered, isolated, very isolated thunderstorms moving through the area. So this is just a brief overview of what we're looking at today and why we called that first alert weather day today. I know that I'm sick and tired of talking about storm chances, but we have to let you guys know. I am looking forward to this comment here by Jeff. I'm from Alabama, so I've never really seen a whole bunch of snow like you guys get in Ohio, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some snow. I do like the heat though, so I don't know. I'd like to keep the heat, but it be as pretty as the snow. I know that's not possible, but for today, we can get back to our severe storm talking here. We are looking at, this is our live cameras right here, so looking out there, we're just saturated with clouds, really. Nobody is really seeing any rain, maybe a couple showers to our more southern counties right now, but a lot of us are just completely having this dreary Sunday morning. It's a morning that you definitely don't want to get out of bed, but right now is the best time to do so. You need to get out, do all of your activities right now before we get into those afternoon hours and into the evening where we'll just have rounds of storms moving through. So we just really need to, you know, get up and moving this morning if you haven't started doing so already. Like I said, just a couple shower chances out there. Most of those were to the south. When I was doing the morning show just a little while ago here, you can see a couple of these have some lightning involved with it as well. But we're seeing a couple of those showers starting to stream in from the storm system. That's over in Indiana, leaving Illinois there into our area. So a couple people are starting to see some of those showers and storms moving into the area right now. So let's track out what we're looking for in the future here. So we can move forward. Okay, looking ahead, 10:30 a.m., so that's in 9 minutes. So this is what we just looked at live, but this is a future cast. You can see pretty strong storms over in Illinois here, streaming in from Iowa and the Missouri area, covering a lot of Illinois here, and they're starting to move into Indiana, and this is when it'll start moving into our area. So we saw some of those spotty shower conditions early this morning, and then as we move a little bit closer, this is around 1 p.m. So you can see a lot of that has weakened. Not a lot of showers are going to be after this main line of storms we'll see here. But you can see we're starting to see a few of those showers starting to meander their way on down into our area. So we'll zoom in. You can see how the lines are starting to break up a little bit. This is 4:30 p.m. You can see those isolated pockets of some showers and storms, a couple areas with that torrential downpours there. And then we move into 6:30, you can see that line of storms moving in. A couple heavier pockets here and there. As they continue to progress, they're starting to weaken a little bit. Even this model here is showing it weaker than it did earlier this morning. So that's a good sign. We don't want any severe weather. So just a little bit weaker than I was seeing earlier this morning. This line is definitely more broken up than it was earlier today, but we're still seeing pretty significant rainfall throughout the region, which is going to increase that flood watch that we're having. Make sure, lots of torrential downpours here definitely will increase the likelihood of some flooding. So we're just keeping an eye on this with those heavier pockets here and there, some isolated storms within the bigger system. We'll just continue to move forward. So this is 10 p.m. This is around where that second line we were talking about coming in. Now this is midnight. So we're continuing to be pretty widespread with those shower and storm chances. And this will just linger on. We're expected to continue to see at least a few lingering showers and storms. This is 2 a.m., so it's still pretty early. A couple of rumbles of thunder still might be involved in this, especially if you're down to the south here. You can see a couple heavier pockets of storms near Dry Ridge and Owenton there. So we'll keep moving forward until we get to that early morning commute hours. So about 6 a.m. here on our Monday. Still some thunderstorms out there, not widespread by any means, maybe a couple showers lingering around, but definitely some isolated storm chances for your early morning commute. You can see we're completely saturated in clouds there, and those storm chances dwindle as we move throughout the rest of your Monday morning. They just become showers by that 8:30 mark there. So this is looking a little weaker than it did earlier this morning when we were talking about these two main lines of storms being broken up and moving through the area, which is a good sign. So I'm glad that we're tracking all of this out for you, giving you this updated information as it comes into us. You can see just a few showers still lingering around. This is 9:30 in the morning, so shouldn't be affecting your commute all that much because they're just going to be weak, light showers out there. We'll just continue to have that shower chances around the afternoon on Monday, but then we should start clearing up. You can see by Monday night, we're pretty clear there. Those clouds start to push on through past that evening hour and into Monday evening. So that's just a little update. I know this is a little different than what we were seeing early this morning. If you were up with me, we can see just a few chances for impacts from these storms today as well. So while this graphic loads here, we're going to talk about the risks that may be involved as we move throughout the evening hours. And like I said, the Storm Prediction Center did highlight us in a 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather today. So there's that big 2 over in the corner there. We do have the risk of that heavy rainfall today, especially in those heavier pockets of rain. Those are going to include lightning, thunder, really heavy rainfall, maybe some gusty winds, along with that very low chance of hail or tornadoes with this event. But you saw that line is starting to break up a little bit, and then that chance does increase a little bit for those things. But we'll continue to monitor that as the models get updated and we get a little bit closer. The other impact of the next couple of days is going to be the heat that we're feeling. So these next 2 days here, Monday, 89 will be our heat index value. That's pretty fair for us. So this is going to feel pretty good, but we do have those lingering shower chances, throughout the day, like we just went through. But Tuesday and Wednesday, these are going to be the best days. Obviously, Tuesday's a little bit better. We're a little bit cooler on your Tuesday. I'm a little better off. But both of these days will be dry. They'll just be hot and humid, especially on our Wednesday here. But then we move into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday when we're in those triple-digit values here. So extremely hot and humid moving into the end part of the week. This is also when we get those shower chances and storms back into the forecast once again. So we do have a little bit of a break. I know I'm looking forward to the few days of sunshine that we're going to get, but we'll continue to see those triple-digit heat index values by the end and the middle of the weekend ahead. So we're definitely expecting a really, really hot next couple of days. So let's plan out the rest of your day today. Okay, so we're just looking at pretty humid conditions this morning. We didn't really see a whole lot of showers or storms moving through the area. We saw a few to our south. A couple people are starting to see some of those showers now, but mainly just humid this morning. And then we have those showers and storms into the evening hours. We'll track those out for you once again, so everybody that's coming on and viewing can see what's going on with those these storms that are moving on through that are causing us to do a first alert weather day. So let's just take a look at our rain chances, one more little overview before we circle back around to the top here. For our Sunday, which is today, we have those almost widespread rain chances, but we do have widespread showers, but we're mostly scattered with those storm chances. So a lot of us are going to be completely drenched at some point today with some rain. But then we have those lingering storms on Monday morning. We just talked about that. That's why this is such a small chance of some isolated showers and storms moving through, because this is lingering into Monday morning there. So Tuesday and Wednesday, again, the best days for no rainfall, lots of sunshine, but you have to add in that heat and humidity. But by Thursday, Friday, Saturday, rain chances come back in, and that's when we have those heat index values over the triple digits there. We went over all of those values just a second ago. We'll restart from the top here just so that everyone that's joining us can get their live update. Okay, sorry. It was taking a second to load here. Okay, so like I said, we did issue a first alert weather day today, and this is just because we have some storms and flooding into the afternoon. A lot of this torrential downpours that we're seeing over the last few days definitely causing some flooding issues, and that will just continue to persist throughout the rest of the afternoon and today. We have enough of that torrential downpours plus a big line that's coming through. We'll just continuously hit the same spots over and over and over again with this torrential downpours. So we really want to make sure you guys are hyper aware of the flooding concerns we have with these events here. So let's go through our headlines here for today. So what we're going to be seeing is some strong to severe storms, and this is going to be this afternoon and to the evening hours. A few of these storms may get severe, watched or warned for thunderstorms. I would say that's probably likely, especially as it's breaking up into those individual storms there. Our main concerns with this, though, is going to be damaging wind threats as well as some heavy rainfall and some flooding. Concerns, we already talked about this, the ground, super saturated right now. I feel like a broken record. But if you haven't heard this yet, the ground is super saturated because we've been seeing rain for like 7 days straight. And so this is meaning the more it rains, the more puddling is going to happen in our ground because it's just so full of water now, and puddling on the roadways as well. But as soon as a big gust of wind comes by, because that ground is super saturated and now weaker, because you can just pull it apart when you pick up dirt, you can just pull it apart when it's wet, you know? So when a big gust of wind comes by, it'll knock a tree down. It'll go down very easily because the ground is so saturated. So we're definitely concerned with some damaging winds. This is also the same issue with power lines and the power outage concern that some people might have into the evening hours here. So same concerns as yesterday, very similar system it was looking like. I was re-looking at the models there I was showing you earlier. They are updating to be a little bit more scattered storms instead of a big long line of storms moving into the area. We'll go through it one more time. I just wanted to show you, this is where the severe weather risk is for today. This green color here is that marginal risk that's surrounding where we are, and we're in this 2 out of 5 slight risk for severe weather. This got updated around 2 a.m. to a slight risk. We were in that marginal risk all day yesterday and early this morning, and I agreed that they looked pretty much like a line of storms that were going to cause some damage. So we wanted to make sure you guys were updated with the first alert that we did get upgraded to a slight risk, and we're continuing to monitor the situation as we get closer to it. So I also wanted to mention our flood alert that's going on here. We are in a flood watch, and this is until Monday at 11 a.m. And this includes our entire area, everywhere that you see green, which is basically everywhere around us here. We can really zoom out if you guys want to see what this looks like. We have about half of Indiana is included in this, a good portion of Ohio, mainly just that southern portion there, as well as some of West Virginia and Kentucky as well. So we're really seeing a pretty good amount of flood alerts out there, and this will just continue until Monday at 11 a.m. And let me tell you why. If you haven't heard early this morning of me talking about all of our flood concerns, it's just, again, due to the saturated ground. But this is going to linger on until Monday at 11 a.m. because this is when the storm system that we're talking about today will be out of our way. That will be completely dry, mostly dry for the rest of our Monday there, as once we're past that 11 a.m. mark. Most of that's going to be gone by around 9 o'clock, but just to be safe, we're keeping it until 11 a.m. But this is just due to the amount of rainfall we're going to see over a short period of time. Earlier this morning, there were 2 separate rounds of storms that were starting to come in, and that would mean one round would come in and get completely drenched in rain, have torrential downpours upon them, and then another round would immediately hit them, and this could cause some flash flooding concerns as well, because you get a pretty significant amount of rain in a short amount of time. Flooding can happen very easily. So this is why we are just continuing to monitor this until 11 a.m. tomorrow. So let's take a live look outside, and then we'll get into what's going to happen this afternoon. Basically, we're completely covered in clouds. It's a pretty dreary day. We did talk about on the news this morning how it was National Ice Cream Day. So if you're going to get some ice cream, it's not that summer day that you want it to be to go out there and get your ice cream on National Ice Cream Day. But it is a good day to eat some ice cream and stay in bed if you don't have anything to do today. This is a great day to binge watch your favorite TV show. But if you have some stuff you have to do, if you need to get out the door today, just to do a couple things, walk the dog, if you're heading off to church early this morning, or you just need to run some errands before the week gets started, this is the time to do so. You need to do that before all of these storms start to roll into the afternoon and evening hours here. I know it looks gloomy and you want to stay in bed, but we got to get out there. We got to get something done early this morning. So everyone needs to get up and at 'em. We can track out the rest of your day so you know what it looks like in the timing with that here in just a second. So we are starting to see a couple of these showers roll on into the area here. Around Laurel, starting to see some of those showers and storms. Cambridge City as well, nearing I-70 there in 52, seeing some very isolated showers moving through, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder there. We do have this system that is starting to make its way into our area here. This is really what's going to be seen later this afternoon. You can see lots of lightning strikes are involved with this right now. So it is starting to move through. It's pretty strong at the moment here, and that's in Indiana. So we're continuing to see a pretty significant amount of rainfall if you're heading up near Indianapolis. That's right on I-65 there, and as well as 74. So definitely seeing a pretty significant amount of rain with that storm there, and that's just continuing to push into our area. We also had some storms pass through the more southern portions of our viewing area earlier this morning, but those are well off to our south now. Like I said, just a couple people seeing those showers out there. Overall, we're completely saturated with those clouds. We have a blanket over us, and we can just fast forward into what we're about to be seeing in the coming time. So this is updated. I know that it looks different here. I can tell the difference from when I was even showing you 10 minutes ago. So this is at 11 a.m. So it's 10:36 right now. So at 11 a.m. we just saw this storm. I just showed you this on live radar. This is what it was looking like. You could see it heading towards Indianapolis, into the area there. This is just a wide view of it. I wanted to show you what we're going to be dealing with because it's the same system that'll be moving into our area by the afternoon. So you can see that starting to head on in. You see it kind of break up here into different segments of the storm, I would say. This is what we were talking about earlier. We had a line, and we had like another lingering line of storms. This looks like it's getting a little bit weaker, which is good for us. We don't want the severe weather, but this is breaking up just a little bit. But you can see still there are heavier pockets in there, so it still can be severe by the evening hours. Let's continue to look here. So this is 4 p.m. Starting to see those heavier pockets of rain here. So definitely some storms are moving into the area. A lot of us are seeing storms. It's not everyone, but you see definitely some lingering showers and storms still expected. And you can even see this other round starting to move on in over to our west there. So we'll push on forward so you can see a little bit better. 6 p.m. prime dinner time hour here. A lot of those heavier pockets out, moving on out of our area, but definitely still seeing some showers and storms, and those will continue to stream on in. So this is around 6 p.m. and by 7, 8 o'clock, we're still seeing some scatterings of isolated showers. So definitely some heavier pockets of torrential rainfall. You can see those pink colors there. People are still seeing some showers and storms down to the more southern counties here. This is not to say you guys won't see one of these torrential downpours. We actually have a lot of energy in our environment right now and have a lot of potential for these storms. It's just whether or not they tap into the potential to become severe. So this is just showing you what it could look like out there. Not a lot going on is what it looks like around 8:30, more to the southern counties, maybe just a few scatterings of showers, but this is not to say you won't get any showers around this time because this is always changing, always updating. We'll keep you guys updated as we get updates as well because these showers and storms will continue to just push on through our area. We'll continue to see torrential downpours. This is why we have that risk for flooding, because you can see the same areas continuously getting impacted by this heavier rainfall. You can see those pockets of pink there. That indicates torrential downpours going on, and definitely some thunder and lightning also along with this. So if you're going to bed early tonight, you might get woken up by some rumbles of thunder here and there. But we'll continue to move through. I don't think that's the only time you're going to get woken up tonight, trust me, because at midnight we're still going to be seeing a lot of storms moving through. You can see a couple of those still pretty heavy in nature, still strong. The severe risk does start to dwindle off as we move into the overnight hours here. You can see 1:30 a.m. This is a lot weaker than it was just at midnight. So this is around 1:30. You can see definitely starting to weaken, but there's still some heavy pockets of rain here that could turn into severe weather. So we are continuing to watch this just for safety concerns. We're sitting because of this flooding. You can see we're just continuing to get blasted by this rain throughout the night. So this is 1:30 a.m. Still seeing showers and storms, heavier pockets. I can move this. Oh, wrong way. Move it that way. Yep, you still see those heavier pockets down near Owenton and Dry Ridge area, and everyone is being completely covered in rainfall still. Most everyone is going to see rain today, if not a storm. So we'll continue to push on forward here. Starts to dwindle out just a little bit more. This is 4 a.m. Mostly clouds out there, but definitely still some showers, definitely still some storms ready to push on in. But like I said, the severe weather potential of this event dies down just a little bit as we move into the overnight hours here. But if you're heading off early in the morning, I know I'll already be at work at 4:30, definitely seeing some showers as I come in. Some storms maybe be included in that. And if you're heading off to work early in the morning on Monday, this is 6 a.m., so the roads might still be wet. If you're heading out there, you might run into a heavier pocket of some rain and thunderstorms. Definitely add a couple of minutes to your commute just to take your time, take things slow, because the roads will be very slick, very wet. There might be some flooding. As well as we get closer, we'll see a little bit more about just how much rainfall we're going to see throughout this, but definitely some showers still lingering around for your early Monday morning. Most of these showers and storms are staying south of the Ohio River here, but definitely the possibility of those showers being to the north as well. But those will just linger on. This is about 11:30. What? If you guys remember when we went through our flood alerts, our flood watch goes until Monday at 11 a.m. And this is because you see this here. We start to clear up just a little bit. So we'll start to see the sun some more. Most of those showers will be out of our area. Most of us will stay dry for the rest of the day on your Monday. So this is looking better. So once we get through tonight and those overnight hours there with that severe weather potential, once we get into Monday, it starts to clear up. Definitely have some clouds streaming on in there, but overall, most of us will stay plenty dry. Even this is just a little different than what I was showing you just a little while ago. Like I said, weather is always changing, is always updating to give us the most accurate forecast here. But even this is showing us more dry than I was showing even just 10 minutes ago on this stream here. So let's go through our impacts for this storm today. Like I said, we are highlighted in that 2 out of 5 severe weather risk for today. And this is due to some flooding concerns as well as some severe weather concerns as well with that damaging wind gust, heavy rainfall as well. The heavy rainfall definitely is a factor that increases our chances to see some flooding today. Hail and a tornado is a very low chance for today's storms, though they always, as we always say, they cannot be ruled out, and we'll continue to monitor that as we get closer, make sure everybody stays weather aware and safe. If anybody is tired of the rain and tired of hearing about different thunderstorms and all of the impacts of this, we'll go into what our heat index values are going to look like, which isn't a very pretty story either here. So Monday is going to be 89 degrees. This is pretty good. This is going to feel very seasonable for us. So this is going to be pretty normal. This is our best day this week. It'll be clearing out. All that rain will start moving out of the area. But Tuesday and Wednesday, no chances of rain those days. We're not expecting to see anything, but you can see heat index values near 94 and then 97 by Wednesday. Pick-me days are definitely going to be Tuesday and Wednesday. If you want to get outside, I would say those days it's just going to be very hot and humid. That's when we start introducing all of that back into our forecast here, and you can see that heat and humidity really picks up here from Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're in those triple digits. We'll continue that in the low triple digits on your Sunday here, but it's going to be very hot and humid the next couple of days. In fact, Thursday and Friday, this is when we start introducing the rain chances back into the forecast. So that definitely is a factor with our heat index values here. So I just wanted to show you that, give you a little heads up. We're going to trade off this rain and thunderstorms with humidity and very high heat index values. But maybe if you're like me and you enjoy that sunshine a little bit more, you might be looking forward to your Tuesday and Wednesday. So we'll go through a day planner one more time, make sure everybody is really up to date on what's going on here. We've had a pretty humid morning today. We have and this is because we have this very humid and warm air mass over us, and which is also helping to fuel these storms into the afternoon and evening hours. So definitely have that hot and humid air mass over us. This bringing us these rainy conditions as well as a stationary front there. Definitely going to see some widespread rain chances today. This chance on Monday, like I said, there's really no chance on Monday unless you're making that early morning commute. You might see a couple showers lingering around, but overall should be mostly clear on your Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, like I said, those are the pick-me days. If you have to go outside, those are the days I would do it. Mow the lawn. Enjoy the sunshine. It's going to be hot though, so definitely hydrate. Make sure you're taking frequent breaks, going in the shade these days. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, these are when those heat index values are in those triple digits. So it's going to be very, very hot the next couple of days. Let's go through the Futurecast one more time for everyone. I see a couple of questions in here about some of the timing for this afternoon on this first alert weather day. So let's go through it one more time before we get off of this live stream. Make sure everyone's questions have been answered before we do that. So this is let's back up actually. Let's show you what's going on right now so we can really use our expert opinion on this. So everybody has their situational awareness down of what's happening at this exact moment. I know that helps me out a little bit to be able to see what's happening. So this is what we're looking at right now. A couple people seeing some showers move into the area. They seem to be weakening as they're pushing in, which is good. Just most of us are dry though. We're sitting there with those, just a whole bunch of clouds over us. But if we zoom out, we can see the storm system that'll start making its way into our area. So this is what we're going to start seeing into the afternoon hours. You can see those heavier pockets of rain and storms, and you can really see where those lightning strikes are here. Just completely in that storm, lots of them happening as well. So this is what we're going to start seeing into the afternoon. So this is your situational awareness of what we're going to see. We saw a couple storms that are now off to the south there early this morning, but this is just what we're looking like heading in. So now we can really dive in deep to what's happening this afternoon. So here is that system we just saw. This is at 11 a.m. So this is in, like 12 minutes. So this is what we're looking like out there. You can see this is Illinois, here's Indiana. That's just showers and storms already moving into the area that continues to move its way on in. Most of us staying dry through the lunchtime hour, but then by 2 o'clock, this is when we start seeing some of those showers and storms starting to develop here in the tri-state. So 4:30 p.m., definitely seeing some heavier pockets of rain, some showers in most areas, but we'll continue to see storms build in by those evening hours. So this is 7 p.m. We can back up just a little bit, see what it's like at that prime dinner time, 6 o'clock hour. Yeah, most of us just seeing some showers and storms out there. If we zoom in just a little bit more, 7:30, this is when we can see those heavier pockets. These are isolated showers and storms. Like I said earlier this morning when we issued the first alert weather day, they had 2 different lines of storms that were coming in. One, they were considering that was going to be severe, and the second one being less severe. So now the storm system has really broken apart according to the models. We're really seeing these becoming isolated showers and storms instead of pretty widespread showers and storms. Let me make sure we're answering all of these questions. Okay, around 1 p.m. We can go back to 1 p.m. here and see. We'll zoom in too, I promise. It looks like most of us are staying dry around that 1 p.m. mark here. I'm just looking at it, maybe a shower or two. The storms are definitely not supposed to be in the area around that time. It's really not going to start until those later afternoon hours around 4 p.m., right around that peak heating time. So if that helps for your parade, I would maybe bring a rain jacket if you are expected to stay out there for a good amount of time, just in case. And definitely keep an eye on the weather because those storms will start rolling in into those later afternoon hours. So definitely keep a watchful eye on that if you're heading out to the parade. That's in Claremont County. Okay, so we'll zoom back into where we were. We were right around 7:30 here. This is at 8:30 p.m. You can really see some of those isolated storms moving in, but this is updating as we speak here. Okay, so we'll go back a little bit more so that we can see that 8:30 mark we were talking about. There we go. So this is at 8 o'clock. You can definitely see those stronger storms. They're pushing their way into our area there, and you can also see those heavier pockets of rain. That we'll just continue to see heavy rainfall in the same areas over and over and over again, and that's part of the reason that we have this concern for some flash flooding and a flood watch that's in effect here. So we'll move forward just a little bit more. We just talked about 8:30. This is 9 o'clock. Most of us seeing some rain. Most of us will see rain throughout the day today. Most of it will be pretty heavy in nature. A couple people might miss out on some of those storms, which will be good, but definitely a significant amount of rainfall today. And you can just see how heavy all of these storms look. Definitely going to keep you up tonight if you're a light sleeper and you're going to bed early, 10 o'clock. Going to hear some rumbles of thunder out there that might even wake you up just a little bit into 11:30 p.m., we're still seeing scattered showers and storms. Then it'll continue to look like this and fully saturating our area, maybe a couple dry spots out there into the evening hours here. And we can zoom forward just a little bit more. This is 1 a.m. This is when that severe weather threat really starts to go away. Once we hit those nighttime hours, the threat of the severe weather starts to dwindle a little bit. It's still there, but it's definitely weaker than it was. So by these overnight hours, this is when we start to see all of that severe weather threat start to fade out of our area. You can see a couple of those heavier pockets still around, but definitely not as severe or as strong as we saw just a little while earlier here. Most of us still seeing rain. You can see most of this area is completely saturated here. A couple rumbles of thunder left in this storm here. We have a lot of potential for severe weather today, a lot of energy in the environment. It's just a fact of whether these storms can tap into that energy today. And there's a lot of factors that go into that as well. So continuing to see rain. This is 2:30 in the morning here, and then a couple heavier pockets were still out there, but this really starts to dwindle. 3 a.m. Seeing some showers across the area, definitely not as strong. No storms are expected this early, but you might see those a little bit closer to 5 a.m. around where that sun is starting to rise again. We can get a little bit more energy. Some more storms might start popping up into the area for your early morning commute. I'll already be at work at this time. So if any of these storms are happening out there, and if Catherine decides this is going to really affect our morning commute tomorrow, I will be live here as well as her being live on Fox 19. So we'll just continue to monitor that into the early morning hours there. Few thunderstorms still expected, 5:30 in the morning. You can see a couple spots still lingering around. Most of us will be dry, but if you do run into one of these, it's definitely going to affect your morning commute. You might want to add a couple minutes just to be safe. Today, we do have a couple of those showers and storms still lingering around. This is 9 a.m. Again, most of us dry, but just a few showers still expected. But for the rest of the Monday, really, we're going to stay relatively dry. Maybe a couple showers lingering around, but overall, pretty clear. We'll start clearing out by around that sunset time. And, see, maybe we'll have a pretty sunset as those storm clouds go away and we start to see a little bit of clear skies and drier weather into our Tuesday. So that's just like an overarching update of what we're going to see over the next 7 days here. So let's go to our 7 days so we can show you what it's going to look like the next 7 days if you're not going to be around for the storms today. We'll look at the next 7 days here. So we have those scattered storm chances for our Sunday. Let me go to this so we can see. Yep, scattered storm chances for our Sunday, 85 degrees. So pretty warm, hot, muggy day once again. We're going to have that first alert weather day for today. Monday and Tuesday is going to be mostly dry. I know it says spotty storms for our Monday, but those are the early morning hours on our Monday. This isn't going to linger on all day long. This is just going to affect your morning commute, really. So we're really just going to continue to monitor that to make sure you guys have the updates for your commute tomorrow morning. Tuesday is going to be dry. It's going to be 85 degrees. Definitely the pick-me day if you have to go outside. Tuesday, Wednesday, best days to do it. It's going to be hot and humid, though. We're going to warm up as we move into the next couple of days. And then we're really going to warm up Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Will be those triple-digit heat indices for those days. So definitely looking forward to getting out of the rainy pattern, but we are trading off all of that rain for the heat and humidity. So it's going to be hot, but those storm chances do come back. By the end of the week, it's like we can't get away from the storm chances for the end of our summer here, but it's okay. We'll deal with it when the time comes. I know that I'm just looking forward to the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday stretch of the week here. I'm going to leave this up for you guys so that everyone can take a look at it just for a last minute here. And I'm going to sign off. I'll see everyone tomorrow. If we have any live If we have any thunderstorms, I will be live. Catherine will be live on the Fox 19 channel as well. So you can definitely catch us there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. I hope everyone stays safe and have a great rest of your day.